The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is striving hard to cleanse Nigeria of all forms of economic crimes and corruption. Let us support the Commission by shunning all acts of economic crimes. Hello and welcome to The Eagle. My name is Aisha Gambari.
I am Aisha Muhammad. A warm welcome to another exciting edition of the program. On the program today, we'll bring you an in-depth report into the activities of an alleged Ponzi scheme suspect arrested by the EFCC.
The suspect has been accused of defrauding over 60,000 Nigerians through a fictitious investment venture. Please stay with us as the report rolls right after this timeout. Don't go away. The infamous Ponzi scheme through which Nigerians have lost hundreds of millions of naira has continued to thrive despite several warnings by law enforcement agencies for people to beware of such ventures. The fraudulent Ponzi schemes was introduced into Nigeria many decades ago when various investment schemes started springing up every day. Due to the need to make more money in order to make ends meet, many people were searching for various means of investments that would yield good returns. Fraudsters capitalized on that by proposing different investment platforms and promising juicy returns on investment and at incredible short period of time. The scheme usually begins by asking people to invest a particular amount with the promise of a turnaround profit, and once money begins to come in, the fraudster pays few individuals and thereafter disappears into thin air. The Ponzi scheme, which is also known as a Ponzi game, is a fraudulent investment operation where the operator generates returns for older investors through revenue paid by new investors rather than from legitimate business activities or profit of financial trading. Operators of Ponzi schemes can be either individuals or corporations, and they grab the attention of new investors by offering short-term returns that are either abnormally high or usually consistent. Companies that engage in Ponzi schemes focus all of their energy into attracting new clients to make investments. The scheme relies on constant flow of new investments to continue to provide returns to older investors. When this flow runs out, the scheme falls apart. The Ponzi scheme is named after Charles Ponzi, who became notorious for using the technique in the 1920s. In a dramatic trial scheme that shook the world in 2009, Bernard Madoff, a Wall Street broker, was sentenced to 150 years in prison after he was found guilty of involvement in a Ponzi scheme in which depositors lost over $50 billion. In Nigeria, it is surprising how Ponzi schemes have continued to thrive despite several victims' tales of woes and losers running into billions of naira. Promoters of the scheme are currently using the shrinking disposable income as baits to attract unsuspecting prey. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and the Security and Exchange Commission, SEC, in 2016 issued a warning note to Nigerians to be wary of any money depositing institution that is not covered by the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC. But despite the warnings, Nigerians have continued to fall for the schemes. Recently, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, received several petitions against a company named Cashflow Abi Network Limited, suspected to be running a Ponzi scheme. The company, owned by one Philemon Ibrahim Gora, was alleged to have collected over 2 billion naira from about 60,000 subscribers across the country under the guise of investing the money for them with a promise of huge percentages as interest. One of the petitioners, God's Grace Divine Mission, a church located in Jos, Plateau State, alleged that sometimes in May 2012, during the youth convention of the church, one engineer Philemon Ibrahim Gora who was a speaker at the event, introduced himself as a businessman with business interests in several fields, including online business such as bitcoins. He called on the congregation to take advantage of the opportunity to invest as little as 5,000 naira in the schemes with a promise of 30% return on the investment within 6 weeks. He was said to have thereafter instructed the church to also open a collection account for the expected investment proceeds. The petitioners also allege that many church members registered, and after the payment of the first and second subscribers' interest in the first 6 weeks, more people began to believe in the scheme, and thus several gullible members of the church in their hundreds invested various sums of money, believing that after 6 weeks maturity period, they will receive interests. But unfortunately, at the maturity stage, they didn't get their returns, neither were their initial capital deposits refunded. They alleged that Gora kept promising them of payment after giving several excuses that the money was in an account that has been frozen by one of the anti-graft agencies. The stories and excuses went on, and the weeks turned into months. Months became years, and now it's been 5 years since they invested, and there has been no news of their initial capital, not to talk of the huge interest they were promised. Upon the receipt of the petition, the EFCC swung into action. In the course of investigation, the Commission discovered that there was a previous petition against the same individual before its Lagos Zonal Office written sometimes in 2012. The fact of the case also revealed that the suspect has been hiding under the guise of his bank accounts being frozen, which made it difficult to access the money to settle his debts. After receiving the petition dated June 30, 2016, the Commission also took the step to ascertain whether the company was duly registered with the Security and Exchange Commission (SEC) or the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN). Replies received from both agencies were categorical that Cashflow Abi was not registered to carry out any business of soliciting, accepting, or investing money deposits in Nigeria. Further investigations shows that the money collected from the subscribers were neither reinvested nor kept in any account as claimed by the suspect. It was also discovered that the said company, Cashflow Abi, was used to defraud even very prominent members of the public under the same guise. Armed with these and other facts, the EFCC invited Philemon Ibrahim Gora. Upon his invitation, the petitions were presented to him, and he denied all allegations. In his statement, he claimed to have $50 million worth of virtual currencies that he has not been able to access due to the closure of his account by the bank. He told the Commission that once he is able to access the funds, he will be able to offset all liabilities accrued to him. The EFCC thereafter invited officials of the bank, and after several deliberations involving Gora's lawyers, they agreed to reopen the account, which was closed due to suspected fraudulent activities. Upon the reopening of the account, members of the EFCC team, Gora and his lawyers met at a branch of the bank in Abuja, where the transaction was to take place. After several hours on the system, Gora couldn't access the obviously non-existent funds. He again asked for additional 7 days to enable him perfect the process, and again he was obliged, and after the 7 days grace, nothing was available in the accounts. The only virtual currency accounts linked to Gora was blockchains worth only $3. The EFCC then demanded for the company's statements of account. The account statements also provided by the suspect were said to reveal movement of 105 million naira in 2 installments of 45 million naira and 60 million naira respectively from the company's account to Astonish Chat Philemon, his 6-month-old son's account, and another transaction of 40 million naira to one Pathfinder Christian Fellowship. Neither the Christian group nor his 6-month-old son were investors in Cashflow Abi network. It was also discovered in the course of the investigations that the suspect neither provided investors' interest nor refunded their capital. Gora was also alleged to have forged several documents, including bank alerts, claiming he has money in a certain offshore account with which he used to deceive the subscribers when it became clear to them that they have been defrauded. Upon his arrest by the EFCC, the Eagle team had a chat with him.
God Great Revival Mission is my ministry. The General Overseer is my spiritual father direct. So they invested the money with me in cash flow. So, and among any other people, I have about 60,000 clients. So God Grace Divine Mission are part of the investors.
Regarding the responses received by the EFCC from the regulatory agencies that the company, Cashflow AB Network Limited, was not registered, what does GORA have to say?
SEC, which is the only regulatory that is supposed to have the license. SEC, Security and Exchange Commission, I apply for fund portfolio manager and investment advisor. I actually applied there, but in the process, you can't get the license without following due process. You have to have a workable company, which is the cash flow. They will come and vet, come and check how you do before they finally give you the license. So I did that on the process of their documentation, and there are other people that they have given that license, but they defaulted. So when our own time to be released comes, at that time the commission ceased to give any license to anybody.
So they gave you a license and you went ahead to operate business by collecting money from people?
Yes, as I said, before they say give you license, you must be on operation with a corporate affairs commission. That is one of the criteria that will qualify you to be issued a license. So they can't just give you license on the air if you don't have something. If you don't have something to give.
You already have it running before you applied.
Yes, yes, yes.
You applied, but you were denied.
Yes, 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 yes.
So after the denial of license, it means you don't have any authority to go on collecting money and investing money. Any money investment venture in Nigeria has to be certified.
That is it. That is correct.
But you don't have that certification. But you went ahead after the denial to continue the business.
Yes, it's a process.
You think that's illegal?
Yeah, it's illegal in another way, but where there is an impact, you are affecting the life of people. I think justification can be made on the intention. What is the reason? What is the brain behind the collection of the money? Is it to defraud people or to empower them? So that is just it regarding to that. Actually, by law, I am not supposed to do that.
From investigations, money was moved from the company's account to several individuals, including your son. Is this true?
Get what I do. Any money that comes to me in God Grace Divine Mission account or any account, by default, that money belongs to me based on the contract that I have with the people. So I am at the liberty to use that money for anything I want to use it for.
Not meeting the legal requirements to operate an investment company in Nigeria is a crime. But does Ibrahim Gora realize that?
So there is no license, there is no law that stops me from doing any trading anywhere online.
There's no law stopping you from trading
online in Nigeria.
Not stopping you from trading in
Nigeria.
Investing people's money without license.
Yes,
You've breached one of those laws.
Yes. Of course, I know that, but it is on process as I explained to you.
You know that, and you went ahead to keep collecting money from people?
Yes, of course, because I need to do what I need to do to help the people.
Which is what?
Which is helping them by giving them whatever I choose to give them, according to my own wisdom.
Regarding the closure of the company's account by the bank, you made several claims that the closure of the account has prevented you from accessing the virtual currencies because the account serves as a gateway access. The EFCC team, in conjunction with the bank officials, obliged your request and the account was reopened, but you failed to access the said funds and the only money found in your virtual wallet was $3 in blockchains. How do you react to this?
You see, I am in charge of my currency. As at that time that they open it, what I mean, of course, I have to do many other things to fix up my platform. And they are expecting, the EFCC, they are expecting to see the money drop as at that hour.
Investigations by the EFCC also revealed that you presented fictitious documents showing false proof of funds from the HSBC Bank in the United States of America, stating that you have $300 million in your account domiciled in the bank. And another document which you claimed was a SWIFT transfer telex report detailing movement of funds from the bank to another bank in Nigeria belonging to your company. These documents were discovered to be forged. Is this true?
This letter, I was the one that prepared it. I only show the bank this particular telex.
Where was this telex from?
I generated it because Global Phone here is my company. Cash Flow here is my company. They are saying they needed a proof to see the source of this phone.
This is supposed to be a SWIFT copy. SWIFT copies usually come from banks, not individuals.
I say I generated it.
So it means you forged it.
Whether you call it whatever language, I generated this copy by myself. It depends on what you call it. Forge who?
It was also discovered that apart from using the fictitious letters to convince subscribers of the existing funds, Ibrahim Bora also allegedly created a fake bank alert indicating that his account with the Nigerian bank was credited with $300 million, an allegation he justified.
I was the one that prepared the alert. I prepared the alert that this is the dollar that I just generated. This is in respect to that telex copy. I did everything by myself.
Operatives also stumbled on an audio message recorded by the suspect in which he advertised to the public that his company was capable of generating BVN codes which can enable individuals whose funds are not tied to the BVN code to escape with their funds without being discovered. The audio was played to him and he didn't deny it.
Gentlemen,
no, I'm hearing. Okay.
Please, kindly go through this confidential information. If you know anybody in Nigeria or abroad that has money trapped in the bank, maybe due to some security reason, he don't want to disclose his phone. In other words, his phone is not tied to BVN. And you know, the federal government have given a mandate in the next 1 week, they will confiscate the money to federal government account. We are ready to give our professional input and help him pick up that money, put it in the cloud, then drop it for him, create a shadow BVN, and hit his account back if he contact me personally on this particular email address or through the company email address, Global Funds. We shall help him out at a particular knowledge fee. So if you know anybody, just forward this to them, let them contact us in order for them to lose. Let them have something in place.
Perfect. This is just exactly what I told you.
This is your voice?
100%. This is my voice.
Okay, but do you know why the BVN was created?
Yeah, of course. Just to check all those money launderers, all those politicians that steal money, all those people that are trying to siphon Nigeria phone. It's one of the best wisdom so far.
Thank you, but now you're calling on those people and asking them that you know how to circumvent the law.
Yeah, of course. It's my wisdom. Hence, I stay for over how many years now? We are trying to help to build a nation, and yet the government could not reason when somebody is out to help. It's only with hunting him.
Nation when someone like you is generating bank alerts, generating BVN,
it depends until you prove one. You prove one.
You said it on record that you created them.
Just creating does not mean I have taken anybody's money anywhere in the world.
But it starts from somewhere.
Well, it depends on you until you prove one. But so far,
a good nation, but you're calling on people whose accounts are not tied to BVN that you know how to hide the money for them.
That's my wisdom.
That's what money launderers do.
They should consult me.
But that's what money launderers do.
It depends on what you call in money laundering.
That's an offense in the money laundering, anti-money laundering.
Until proven.
No, it's not. Yeah, until proven. But you know that there's an anti-money laundering law.
That's what I told you.
And you yourself confirmed to me now that you know that the BVN was created in order to check money laundering.
Very, very
now
well.
You're telling the money launderers that you have a wisdom that can help them generate BVN.
So the best the government should do is to seek for that kind of wisdom that can help them.
I didn't force you to admit that the HSBC letter and the SWIFT code was created by you.
I did that. I wrote it in my statement. I didn't compel you to say that the bank alerts from that, the one you showed Diamond Bank was created by you. I did everything by myself.
To make them believe you have money.
I did everything by myself.
And I didn't compel you to say that you can generate BVN codes to hide money for money laundering.
Even till tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Till tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Upon news of his arrest by the EFCC, some of the investors trooped into the Commission's head office in Abuja. Revealing their ordeals to the Eagle team, they said several other investors lost their lives in the pursuit of their money.
There's one, it's advanced online trading, advanced online trading investment, which he was doing for the DIC, promising 20% in one package, another package 30%, and then in G Command there's so many, like say, bidding. Some of the name, some of the package, the names I can figure out to say. Astonish package. He keep giving names. So the more you key in to one package, hoping and believing you will reap the benefit. The trend that I realize is that it is all deception, because from one investment portfolio to another, you never get the benefit, and he gives you another hope. Now you are hoping to receive.
Once he has created a platform, right, he will tell you in so number of days, working days, you get this. Now, before the days elapse, he will come up with a more enticing package, and he will show you that he does the online business, he's into Forex, and so one at that point will feel, okay, this is the best place to put the money. So at times you go and borrow the money, not that you have it, you go and borrow it to put. And if you try this one, it won't work. But I just don't know. I don't know what is happening, but I kept following him. I asked myself why.
In 2014, he now told us that he already get the money. He was in abroad. I have this CD, which I gave your officer that they should just copy it. I gave him, where it display, telling us that if you don't follow this channel that he bring now, it's your own problem. You don't have to get your money. He now asked us that we should pay 15,000. Say once you pay that 15,000 naira, your money will be given to you, and there is a card that is prepared. We will give you, when he give you, just like a recharge card. I have the card with me. Let me explain. This is card. There's 1,000, 1 million, 1,500. That's for the bank. This is his own bank, Time Microfinance Bank. This is the bank. He now give us this card. We hold the card. He now told us that when it's time, he will ask us to slide the card, send the number that will send the card to, the code to. Once we send that code there, he will credit that code. When we send, they will now ask us for our account number. From there, they will debit us the money. They will credit us the money. We are waiting. Nothing. That one went. From there, what do we do? From there, we begin go up and down.
I'm going to lead the group of people that will fight against Gora. And since I came back, that's what has been happening. I wish you see people that are suffering, people that are sick, some that are dead. On whose conscience is this blood?
Investigations into the case are still ongoing. The public is hereby warned to be wary of fraudulent investment schemes. If anyone approaches you with investment opportunities and a promise of juicy turnaround on investment, a due diligence should be carried out to ascertain the genuinity of such proposals. And that brings us to the end of the program this week. Please join us again next week for another interesting package.
To be part of the program, please like our page on facebook.com/official EFCC. You can also drop your comments by sending an email to us via the Eagle at efccnigeria.org or follow us on Twitter at official EFCC. I am Aisha Muhammad. Have a pleasant evening and goodbye.
My name is Aisha Agambari. Thank you for watching and God bless Nigeria.